Hello and happy new year. We have arrived in 2025 and we're coming to the closing stages of 2025 in this series as we now have just 2 races to go and it's the final sprint race of the year as we head to Qatar in this one in just 4 days time. So we'll be out on track very quickly, coming off the back of Las Vegas where Mercedes continue to stutter. So Bottas needed 4 points, I think it was, for the Drivers' Championship. And he only managed 1. He had that crash in Vegas. So he only managed 10th place and, only gained 1 point. So it actually goes over to Qatar. So I think he needs 3 more points to win the championship. So it should happen this weekend. But we did say that last time out. So let's see what happens in Qatar. But it very much looks like Bottas is going to wrap up this Drivers' Championship. But more importantly, Mercedes, with that 10th place finish for Bottas and George Russell taking a grid penalty, they only managed 11 points. We gained another 29 and the gap is now just 22 points. So if we can beat them here in Qatar across the sprint and the race or overall point scoring, then it's going to be very tasty as we head to Abu Dhabi. If we can't beat them here, we want to stay very close just to take it to that last race of the season. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But if you're jumping back in and you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, please do like the video. A minimum 15 likes is the target. So if you can help me on the way to that target, I would very much appreciate it. So please do smash a like on the video and get involved down below in the comments. But let's crack on then as we head to this final sprint weekend of 2025. Got our driver development update. No changes overall, but Liam Lawson a slight increase in his defending, which is good to see. We really want to see that smoothness increase though, but not at the moment. Affiliates, so they continue to improve. Mercedes and Daniela were the original ones. We may not retain those beyond their current contracts, but we'll see. Although Mercedes now up to 68, not too bad, but Daniela quite far behind overall at 60. Arvad Lindblad is now still 65, so not improved overall, but again you can see these stats are going up. Franco Colapinto same 72, cornering's gone up slightly, and Aurelio Noble still 55, again a slight increase in overtaking. So just an update on drivers. We know about the affiliates here, but our driver status for car 1 and car 2, so Danny Rick we did secure for an extra year, so he's now got 13 months left. Quite a long deal that we signed Liam Lawson up to. So I think it was a 3-year deal, wasn't it? So he's still got 2 years after this one. So still not fully convinced over Liam Lawson, but it would cost us a lot to break that contract because he's got the, I think he's got the contract multiplier. So we might be stuck with Lawson. He's not done a terrible job, don't get me wrong. I just don't know if he's got that all-out pace to really challenge for a title. But we'll maybe make a decision on him at the end of the year. Will depend on our bank balance at the time as well. But at the moment, our driver pairing for 2026 is going to be the same as we have it now with Danny Rick and Liam Lawson. So, final pit crew training of the year, and we've just gone full rest into both of these weekends. So you can see over here, we're coming in well rested, but we will skip over to tired for the Saturday and Sunday. And that's the same for both races. So that's best we can do because as we see every day before these races, we are fully rested. We're then going gym training. So just using that end of season, most of it, just to bring down our estimated pit stop time, which as you can see here, will be reduced again. So it's looking good. It's coming down each month. So hopefully heading into 2026, we're going to be closer to that flat 2 seconds or 2.1. We've had a few 2.2 second stops this year. So yeah, hopefully getting close to a sub 2 second pit stop in 2026. So before we head into this race weekend, as you see, car analysis, we are now down to 5th on low speed and high speed, 7th on medium speed. So we really shouldn't be competing with these Mercedes. So it's going to be a bit of a stretch. Look at the Mercedes, dominant car on the grid. So really Mercedes should be beating us. McLaren, clearly the 2nd fastest car on the grid. And then it's kind of us now, the 3rd fastest car. I don't know if it's Ferrari. Yeah, so we're probably mixing it with Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari. So it should really be a Mercedes first, McLaren 2nd, then us in 3rd as the 3rd fastest team. But we'll see how we go as we set the race targets. Same as usual, 10th for Danny Rick, 9th for Liam Lawson. Let's crack on. 1 practice session only as it's a sprint weekend here in Qatar. Okay, underway in this practice session then. As I say, just 1 practice session. Hopefully, let's hunt down 100% setup satisfaction. It's going to be very difficult to do, of course, but let's get as close to that as we can. So the one and only practice session completed, and quite interesting here because Lando Norris's car, although we're going to affiliate in it for this first practice session, is going to be taking a penalty, as is Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Same for one of the Astons there, which is Alonso's car, and Teo Porcher in the Haas. So quite a few cars are going to take penalties. Unfortunately, neither of the Mercedes, but one of the McLarens are, and they will be quick compared to us. So yeah, let's see how that goes. In terms of how we've done that first practice session, setup is unknown as it normally is for us in a sprint weekend. We do 2 full setups in terms of getting 5 pieces of feedback twice, and then the third one, there's not enough time to get all 5 pieces of feedback. So we were about 62% with Danny Rick, 55% on car setup with Liam Lawson before that final run. So hopefully that's going to be enough to get us up to around about the 80% mark as a minimum. We'll see as we complete sprint qualifying. Track acclimatization very low as well. Car parts knowledge 100%. So currently driver prep is 61% for Liam Lawson, 76% for Daniel Ricciardo, but that will improve once we finish sprint qualifying, which is next. Here we go then, sprint qualifying underway. As always, let's get them both out and get a first lap under our belts. Hopefully not much traffic, so we're kind of looking here for anyone coming out of the pits, and there is a few, so we are going to have quite a bit of traffic here.
Okay, that's,
and Danny Rick 2 seconds off, so that would show that Danny Rick was held up.
So that's currently P2.
Lawson's time looking pretty good, I would suggest. Danny Rick, we're going to have to send straight back out. And K-Mag just come out of the pit, so we're going to have... Oh, no!
Okay, I had a lock up.
Danny Rick is locked up. This is bad news. Right, this is big problems for us.
Now, we're just proceeding through turn 4.
I don't think he's got enough time to get back.
Oh, and the car locks up.
Danny Rick locks up. You only get this 1 set of tyres as well. So Danny Rick down to 80%. But we've not got enough time to get in and back out, I don't believe. No, that's going to be Danny Rick out then of SQ1. That is problematic. At least it's the sprint race, I guess, and not the full race. But yeah, that is disastrous for us there. Lawson's going to be safely through. But Danny Rick, dead last. Dead last for Danny Rick. So got traffic in the first run and then made a mistake in the second run. And he's going to start dead last in the sprint. Let's head into SQ2 with our sole remaining car in Liam Lawson. I think I'm just going to send Lawson out straight away again. Hopefully most of the grid come out. I think all of the grid are out. So this is actually good for us. Means we'll get no traffic. So Lawson can set a clean lap here. He sets a 1:23.7. That's a second slower than Piastri, though.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap.
Not the best of laps from Lawson there, but as I say, the car, as we looked at this before coming in, is not as quick as we hoped. Lawson currently P8 then. He's got about half a second to the drop zone, and he is going quicker through that first sector. So let's see. Hopefully this is going to be enough to get through to SQ3. Although Danny Rick was unlucky, it is showing, though. I don't think we're really going to have the pace around this racetrack. So I think really it's damage limitation across this race weekend to Mercedes, who are looking very, very quick. Bottas has got 3 temps on both McLarens. And George has got a couple of temps on them as well. So looks like it's going to be a struggle to rein in those Mercedes. We need a couple of mistakes from them again. Going quicker through the first and second sector, so let's see what we do through this final sector as we're going to come across the line. Where is Liam Lawson going to go? Currently P8. Teo Porcher doesn't improve. Tsunoda's not improved, so looking good for Lawson. Crosses the line now. Let's improve by quite a bit, actually. I think that's half a second improvement there. So Lawson should now safely be through to SQ3. Any surprises down here? No, not looking like it. Here we go then. It's going to be our one and only run in SQ3. And it's Russell currently on provisional pole. Bottas yet to set his lap. So I'm expecting that second Mercedes to go to P1 or P2. They're looking very quick round here, which is ominous for us. But what can Liam Lawson do? It will definitely be green sectors because it's his only run here in SQ3. But no purples. I'm not really expecting to see any purples as we've got a bit of traffic there. Looks to be staying out of the way very nicely there, the Ferrari. Lawson looking a bit sluggish through here, to be honest with you, but let's see. What have we got? Piastri 4 tenths off, Hamilton 4 tenths off, the Red Bull 7 tenths off with Sainz, nearly a second off of Verstappen. What is Lawson going to do here? Matteo Portier done well to get that Haas in the top 10. He goes 6th, but he's quite a way off. Doesn't feel like it's been the greatest of laps from Lawson, but we'll soon see as he is about to cross the line. Norris goes P2, Lawson goes P6. Yeah, I didn't feel like it was a good lap, and it's not, because you'd expect Bottas and Leclerc to go quicker. And Leclerc is going across the line now. And not setting a time for some reason there. Not sure what's happened to Leclerc. But Leclerc has not set a time. So unless he was at the garage late then, he just didn't make the line. That's what it looks like. Because yeah, he's set no time. But here comes Valtteri Bottas. Is this going to be provisional pole? Purple, it certainly is, isn't it? Bottas across the line then, and he goes pole by 2 tenths to his teammate, 6 tenths to anyone else. Mercedes looking dominant here in Qatar. Here we go then, not good reading for us. These Mercedes are looking too strong for anyone, let alone us, who we seem to be struggling around here. So this is really going to be damage limitation. It's Bottas on pole, George Russell 2nd, Lando Norris 3rd, Oscar Piastri 4th. We said it should be Mercedes P1, McLaren P2. We can't make Team Lotus that 3rd car in P5 and P6 because it's Hamilton in P5, Carlos Sainz P6. We split the Red Bulls, Liam Lawson 7th, Max Verstappen 8th, Teo Portier 9th, and Leclerc obviously sent out too late by Ferrari. Doesn't set a time. He's in P10. And as we saw, Danny Rick's going to start this sprint dead last, and we may retire that car if there's no chance of him getting up to P8 and getting a point. We may as well save the parts. So we'll see how we go though. Let's jump into some strategy before starting this sprint in Qatar. Okay, quite simple then for this sprint race. It is going to be softs all the way for us. So we're going softs with both drivers. I'll probably try to do a bit of light work with Lawson, try to get a bit of a tyre delta up for the final stages of the race. Car setup is now in. It's pretty poor on Liam Lawson. That might be why he only managed 7th, 73%. Danny Rick has got a nice car setup for a sprint weekend, to be fair, at 93%. Can we do anything with this front wing? Potentially we could try that and see if that makes a difference. Let's jump in then and start this Qatar Grand Prix sprint. We've got them 3 lights, 4, 5, a Mercedes 1-2, dominant so far across here. We kind of need a hope for a coming together between those two. Because I think that's the only way we're going to get something out of this race. Although Russell is down to P4 there. He's had a very poor start. And, yeah, not quite sure what happened there, because Hamilton's up to P3, Russell and Piastri down to P4 and 5. Tyres are basically up to temperature already here.
Look after the tyres.
Just want to stay in this race for the long term, really. Let's just have a look at tyres. So it's softs for the top 7. That's Ricciardo. It's past both Aston Martins here.
Daniel Ricciardo. The opportunity begging to be taken.
He's got one there. Of course, there's Alonso out wide. I believe we have got the other Aston Martin as well, as Alonso tries to fight back. And then we do slip through on the inside of K-Mag by the looks of it as well, because we're up to, although K-Mag's still fighting that, forcing us out wide. But Danny Rick, thank you very much, and he's up to P20. Yeah, so top 7 on the softs. Then we've got a mixture of medium and soft runners below them. So let's see how it all pans out. Lawson is nearly he's already a second off Piastri. Let's see if we can rein that back in. Ricciardo's got another one. Pierre Gasly this time. Start, finish straight. And easy work there. We have got the best DRS on the grid, I believe, so it does come in handy.
Nice.
And Danny Rick up to P19. As I say, if he can't get up to 8th, still a chance at the moment because it's still pretty congested. So we'll see how it goes. But if he can't get up to 8th, then we may as well save some of the parts. Because his engine's at 62%. The rest of it's pretty good, but we could do with saving a bit on the engine. So we'll see how that goes. Lawson just about sticking with Piastri. They have dropped Sainz momentarily. Lawson's got good tyre advantage on the rest of the grid at the moment, so not working too bad for Liam Lawson. And Ricciardo, is he going to get another move done here? DRS about to open. Pulls out to the inside. Just did Stroll's teammate Gasly in that kick, and it looks like we're going to get Lance Stroll as well. Danny Rick up to P18, so he is making moves. And he is 7 seconds off a point though, so we've got to monitor that. Still a chance for him. Danny Rick again. This time it's Guan Yu Zhou who's got in his sights. Again, he's also got DRS, but our DRS is pretty effective. Can he do anything? It looks to be a little bit harder work this time round. Is he going to make a lunge, Danny Rick? No, he can't make it work, so are we going to start to falter here with Danny Rick? So I'm monitoring that gap to Verstappen, but if it becomes obvious it's not going to be achievable, then we'll have to retire Danny Rick. Lawson, Piastri's moved up past Hamilton, and Lawson is with Piastri and Hamilton now. Hamilton might be conserving a bit of tyre life. Yeah, not going too bad for Lawson. It's Bottas that leads. Norris has remained in P2. But at the moment, Mercedes will be taking 14 points and we would be taking 3. So that's quite a big gain for them at 11 points. So hopefully Lawson can make at least another position here. And he might have a chance to here because I think Hamilton has just dropped out of the DRS to Oscar Piastri. We're about to see here. No, he did just get it by the looks of it. Lawson, though, alongside Lewis Hamilton.
The car ahead is Hamilton.
Who's gaining on Piastri. Lawson on the inside there of Lewis, and we get the job done.
Car behind is Sainz.
And now we just want to stay with Oscar Piastri here. And maybe Oscar can drag us up to George Russell. So Lawson
a little bit
now up to P5.
Now we can see what happens. Now we're watching.
So yeah, our DRS is so strong. It's like the old Red Bull DRS, so we got a good move done there on Lewis. Now we're back behind Piastri, but now into P5 for Lawson. That's another point gain for us. But Norris is now under pressure from Russell. We've got to really hope those Mercedes don't get a 1-2 here. And at the back, Ricciardo's got another one, Van Dorn. So it looks like Zhou has moved past Van Dorn, and then we sneak on through the inside there. Danny Rick past Van Dorn, past Stoffel then, and now up to P17. Zhou's out of the DRS as well, so it should be a good chance for Ricciardo to get him next. Right, all over the back of Zhou here. We've got DRS. He won't have it, so this should be job done for Danny Rick. Or P16, although Zhou's used quite a bit of battery coming out of that final corner, it looks like. He goes defensive. Ricciardo's going to switch to the outside. Harder work around there, but let's see if we can make it work. We do this time. So Ricciardo up to P16, and it's Drugovich next car up the road. And these are all medium runners. We've got better tyre life than them as well. So Ricciardo not doing too bad at the moment. In terms of that point to Verstappen, it is now 11 seconds though. So let's see how quickly he can navigate through these. Ricciardo all over the back of Drugovich then. Drugovich is going to get DRS. Is he? I think he is. I think he was under a second at detection. Yes, he does, but we still need to get this one done, really. Alongside, it's a bit of a drag race. He's getting a bit of a toe off Perez. The Williams ahead. Ricciardo really needs to make this one work, and he does, up to P15. And again, Perez has no DRS to Hulkenberg, and Hulkenberg has no DRS. So these next two moves should be easier for Danny Rick. As Lawson, still with Piastri, in that DRS of Piastri. Hamilton's dropped a couple of seconds back. I think he's conserving a bit of his tyres, pushed them quite hard early on. Piastri now only 1.4 off Norris, but it is a 1-2 now for Mercedes. It's looking pretty ominous out there, so let's see how we go. Lawson's just got to try and stick with Oscar here. Here we go then, another lap, Ricciardo, another
Update on
car.
tyres, please.
Right behind Perez this time.
Okay, tyres are still okay.
Perez may have deployed quite a bit there. And he goes defensive. Ricciardo going to try around the outside. I'm not sure he is going to get it done, though. Much better traction around the outside. I wasn't sure that one was going to get done. But Ricciardo up to P14. Just a second and a half off Hulkenberg. And now we are still 11 seconds, though, off Verstappen. So we'll have to see. I have to continue. But in another few laps, we've got a decision to make on Danny Rick.
But this is what
Lawson has got Piastri here. We're just
Now
sitting
we're
in the
approaching
DRS,
turn
but
two.
he went for a bit of a lunge
There's the
here, did Liam Lawson. And we've got that done. We weren't expecting that. Watching Danny Rick, and yeah,
And
Liam
the
Lawson
overtake is made.
is past Piastri into P4, and we're very close to his teammate Lando Norris here, and we probably need to use a bit of pace just to push up to Lando here.
Prep ourselves for a push.
Ricciardo looks like he's now got past Hulkenberg as we switched away from that battle. And he has. And there we go, start finish straight. As Danny Rick has been doing across this race, he's 70% tyre life. He's got good margin, Danny Rick, so I think we'll use a bit of that now to get to Yuki.
And you can push on tyres. We're good on tyres.
Right, we want to get Lawson into the DRS of Norris, but Norris is 4 seconds off these Mercedes, so the Mercedes just dominating out there today. Lawson then is into the DRS of Lando Norris, and we've gained quite quickly here.
Just get
This
DRS.
could be job done here on Lando.
Okay.
Alongside, it's going to be easy work into P3 then from
You
Liam
want
Lawson.
P3?
Lando looks like he wants to fight this back though. Lawson left the door open and Lando is going to say thank you very
2.2.
much. He didn't take too kindly to that overtake. They're still battling, still
behind
side by
is
side, but
Norris in 6
Lando
seconds.
has to concede. He has another look through the inside here, but no. Lawson into P3 then. And we're just going to manage the tyres. I don't think we've got the pace to push up to these Mercedes. We're on the same tyre life. Piastri looking a little bit better there. As Ricciardo has got another one done. Past Yuki Tsunoda. So let's have a look where Danny Rick is. He's got a Williams right ahead of him here. Is he going to get 2 for 1 here? Oh. Did Yuki get us back there? No, he didn't. Right, let's... Norris has developed a fault behind us.
What's wrong with my pack?
Oh, looks like he's got ERS issues, so he might be slow for a little while here. And I think we're just going to manage the tyres with Lawson and try and battle these two McLarens. We look safe in the Ferrari, so I think Lawson's got a battle between himself and the two McLarens. So we're finishing P3 to P5 with Lawson. Mercedes are going to get a 1-2 here, so it is damage limitation. Where is Ricciardo here? He's now on Ocon. And then it's 2 seconds up the road to Teo Pourchaire.
Ocon in front of you.
And then it's whether we can do anything to Leclerc or Verstappen.
Don't worry. Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
And it's still 11 seconds to Verstappen, so I don't think it's going to happen for Ricciardo here. He's putting in good work out there, though. As we should be getting another move done here on Esteban Ocon. It's whether we stay in this race in case there's any instance ahead of us here. Danny Rick then up to P11. And he's got 2.5 seconds to Teo Pourchaire.
You're good to push.
Been a good race though from Danny Rick. What's that, up 10, 11 places now, up to 11th from starting last. And Ricciardo's got past Teo Pourchaire. We're expecting start finish straight, but he's got it done earlier there. Very slow Teo out of there, and Danny Rick up to P10 then. But he's 7 seconds off Leclerc. Leclerc is still 4 seconds off Verstappen, so it's 11 seconds to the point. So don't think Ricciardo can get some points here. Engine's still 62%. I think we just keep him going now, to be fair. There's only 6 laps to go. Might be something odd that happens ahead of him. Let's wait and see. I think we'd be a bit gutted if something happened ahead of us and we had a chance of even getting a point. Needs to be damage limitation. Norris has dropped off by 1.7. I think he's struggling with his battery. Although he is seemingly on light on his tyres as well. I think the whole grid are currently light on their tyres. So yeah, we'll see how that goes with Lawson and see if we can fend those McLarens off and secure P3 in this one. Okay, a lap and a half to go here, and Russell leads, but he's down to 29%. Could Russell get a puncture here? Ricciardo is 4.5 off Leclerc, so he has closed that gap, and he's only 1 point off Sainz, so what's that? 6.5 seconds, Ricciardo off the point, so it was 11 seconds, so definitely brought that down. Lawson's got 2.8 on Piastri, so looking good for that. You'd think Bottas is going to get the win here with Russell at 28%. Russell, come on, get a puncture. Get a puncture across this last lap. Early on, though. I don't think it's going to happen, is it? 27%, though. As Bottas challenge for the lead. We'll go deploy with Lawson. See if he can just gain on these in case Russell has any issues.
Press and hold the overtake.
Yeah, copy. And you can pick up the pace.
Well, Leclerc is close to getting a point on Carlos Sainz here now. Russell down to 26%, but he's going to bring it home, I think. You kind of need the puncture to happen now. I don't think we're going to get that lucky, are we?
For info, we are not fuel limited. We are not fuel limited.
Don't think it's going to happen. Russell's going to be able to bring it home.
Okay, mate, copy.
And Bottas is going to claim the Drivers' Championship, of course, with this result.
Just take cruise lift off.
Valtteri Bottas will be the World Drivers' Champion.
Can press overtake where possible.
Russell is not going to get a puncture.
Understood.
Which is a shame for us. That would have been nice. That would have given Lawson another position. But Russell looks like he's going to win this one then. George Russell brings it home, avoids a puncture, although Bottas is going to have a bit of a slipstream here.
Caution on the battery.
But Russell just about takes it. A 1-2 for Mercedes. Lawson does well in the end to claim P3 for us. And Ricciardo gets within 2 seconds of the points in the end. Very close.
Good job.
So a good drive from Ricciardo, but not enough to get points. It's damage limitation, though, from Lawson to gain us 6 points against Mercedes 15 there. And we've got to hope for better luck as we head into the full race. Ricciardo, P10, Lawson P3. But it's a 1-2 for Mercedes as we head to full qualifying next. And there it is then. Bottas is the champion of the world. Valtteri Bottas has finally done it. He is the world champion. George Russell wins the race, though. His tyres hold on. Valtteri Bottas second. Liam Lawson, as we say, good drive in the end. Up 4 places to third, claims a podium. And Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris 4th and 5th for McLaren. Lewis Hamilton 6th. Max Verstappen 7th. And Leclerc closes out the points in 8th. Carlos Sainz down 3 to 9th. Good drive from Danny Rick. Up 12 places, but not enough to sneak into the points. So it's 15 points for Mercedes, 6 points for us. So they take a 9-point advantage going into the race. Got to try, hope we can beat at least one of those cars in the full race as we head into qualifying. Yeah, then qualifying underway. Let's get them both out. Hopefully, nice clean laps. Ricciardo got caught out in SQ1. It's going to be Dragovic, the only bit of traffic we need to get past. Hopefully, he was out of the way nicer. I think he was there.
So that's P2.
I think we're looking pretty good there.
Cool the tyres and we will box this.
We need these Mercedes to have some issues across this qualifying session or race, because they're looking pretty dominant there. Although Russell did abuse his tyres, got a little bit lucky there. If he would have got a puncture early on in that lap, he would have fallen right out of that top 8. That would have been mega for us. Here we go then. We're about to get checkered flag. We should be pretty safe as Van Dorn locks up. Checkered flag. And yes, both drivers this time safely through then. So plain sailing this time as we head into Q2. Same again then in Q2, but we're using the tyres we just used in Q1. So a scrub set. We'll use set here. But no traffic, which is good. As Shah runs wide. Shouldn't cost him because it's no lockup. Yeah, I think we're going to be safe here. So we're just choosing not to send our drivers back out here. Minute to go. Hopefully we're not going to regret this. Checkered flag then. And Lawson's still... Yeah, Lawson's safe. So both drivers through. And plenty of softs in hand then. And we see those penalties a lot clearer here then. So Lando Norris, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton all going to take penalties. So good chance for us to be close to those Mercedes, I would suggest. Again, using new softs on this first run. And then we'll swap over some nice, fresh, new softs for our final runs.
That's P1 for the moment.
Let's take a closer look.
Well, Leclerc's had a lock-up here, so this could be costly for him. Not a driver taking a penalty.
And the car fails to respond. Now
That's going to ruin that run. Even if that was his outlap, because he's lost all the speed and the tyre life there.
We've got a yellow
Russell
flag.
spun. Has Russell set a lap yet? George Russell's had a spin. And that is good for us. And he hasn't set a time yet. So Russell, unfortunately, did get a lap and he's gone quickest. But now it's our final runs here in Q3. And we're on fresh soft. So let's see what we can do here. Hopefully we can remain close to these Mercedes. If they're going to be 1-2, we'd like to be 3-4. Just so we can jump them off the line. Piastri goes P2 though. That McLaren very handy indeed. That's going to be hard to beat. Less than a tenth behind Russell. Half a tenth in it. As we go through the first sector. 26.2 for Ricciardo. 26.3 for Lawson. Quite closely matched. Bottas didn't go quickest through that first sector though. And Norris has completed his time. He goes 5th. So Lawson will be ahead of him no matter what. And Norris has got to take a penalty, of course. So where is Bottas going to go in that Mercedes as Ricciardo goes green? Lawson not going quicker than his first time. So 28.5, 28.6. So Lawson doesn't look like he's going to go quicker. Ricciardo, can he jump Verstappen and Norris? Doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere close to Piastri and Russell. Bottas across the line, goes pole. Ricciardo... He jumps up to P7. Not great paces there around here for us. Though the Mercedes, as we thought, just looking very dominant around here. Piastri P3. He was close to Russell though, so hopefully he can take a bit of a fight to them. But Lawson, half a second behind the Mercedes. And Ricciardo, even worse. Here we go then. Bottas on pole. George Russell 2nd. Oscar Piastri 3rd. Liam Lawson 4th. Max Verstappen 5th. Lando Norris 6th. Both taking penalties. So Ricciardo will at least go to P5. So we will be P4 and P5. And hopefully Oscar Piastri or Lawson can jump one of these Mercedes. Because we need to try to kind of sabotage one of these Mercedes races. So we can gain some points over them. So it's Ricciardo 7th. Leclerc 8th. Sainz 9th. Hamilton 10th. But also taking a penalty. So a few of these drivers will be jumping up into the top 10. But let's jump into some strategy before getting this one underway. Right, here we go then. We're splitting the strategy a little bit here. We're going soft, medium, soft. So it's 2-stop for both, but Ricciardo going soft, medium, softs. Lawson going soft, medium, mediums. As we know, he's a little bit worse on his tyres. So being a little bit more secure there, going for 2 sets of mediums. But let's head in then, as Lawson's going to start P4, Ricciardo P5. This is damage limitation across Mercedes, hopefully taking this Constructors battle to the final race of the season as we begin this Qatar Grand Prix. Here we go then. Mercedes have made a few mistakes the last few races, but they have nailed it so far. We need a mistake from them in this race. If not, they're looking nailed on for a 1-2 as we begin this race then. And it's Bottas P1. Piastri looks like he might have jumped George Russell and Ricciardo. This would be very nice, but I think Russell's going to try and hang in on there. Come on, Ricciardo. This would be good. And Lawson's out very wide there. Lawson tumbling down, now down to P7. Bad news for Lawson.
Look after the tyres.
Lawson's got to try and fight back here against Leclerc. Zhou into the top 10, so is Tsunoda and Drugovich due to those penalties. But Lawson, a real bad start here. Down from P4 to P6. Bottas already got a DRS gap on Piastri.
Keep at it.
And Lawson back to P6. Needs to get past Sainz though.
Okay, copy.
This is your race now. We can still do it.
Russell having a look at Ricciardo. Ricciardo fends him off. The only saving grace for us, Lawson, although down to P6, Russell has dropped from P2 to P4. So if we can try and frustrate him with Ricciardo.
That's P3. Next car is Piastri.
Russell coming at Ricciardo. Just holds on there.
Russell behind us.
Cool the tyres.
Yeah, copy.
Now we
And
should be
Lawson
able to
is
take a
past
look
Carlos
here.
Sainz here.
Okay, so heading into turn
So
one
Lawson
here,
fighting back
they
after a poor
decide to give
start.
it a go.
And that's good work from Lawson. Will actually go back to attack. Just try and push him up into Russell's
Come on, mate.
DRS. This is important now.
Press and hold the overtake.
Yeah, copy that.
Ricciardo, actually, we can't afford to
keep
slow
looking
him
after
down
our
either.
tyres.
We need him in Piastri's DRS. Russell all over Ricciardo. Ricciardo couldn't get in the DRS of Piastri here. Piastri might block off Russell here, though. And yes, he has a Ricciardo without DRS. I think Russell is past Piastri as well. Can Piastri fight in there? He can't.
Alrighty. Nice.
And Ricciardo,
Very good.
yeah, look, no DRS. But just such great speed there with the battery. And Piastri tried to block off Russell. But Russell goes around the outside. I think Bottas is going to be off and gone in this race, although we're just about with him here.
Cool.
Ricciardo set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap. We've got two
I'm trying to
Bottas
pull down the
DRS,
tyres
but I
while you
don't
can.
think we
There is
can
traffic
really
coming up.
stay with him. He's just pulling away. We're using quite a bit of
Okay.
tyre life, although it's the same. We had a bit of a margin, so
That was very good.
as Lawson looks like he's past Oscar Piastri. He is indeed. Very nice move through there then from Lawson, who has used a lot more tyre life than we wanted to. Down to 77%. There's kind of just management here, but as I say, I don't think we've really got the pace of these Mercedes. We've tried to kind of push to be there with them. And here comes Russell then attacking Ricciardo. Ricciardo trying to defend. But Russell is going to be
Okay.
passed on the outside,
Gotcha.
is he? Ricciardo doesn't want to give it up though. Nice and
Okay, crack on.
clean. And I think Russell is going to be through as Piastri gets back past Lawson and
Back
Ricciardo's
behind.
forced out
2.4.
wide by George Russell. We're down to P3. Say,
That's okay.
keeping pace
Behind you is Piastri.
with these two Mercedes is going to be a difficult task.
3
So I
seconds.
think we've got to settle for best of the rest in terms of that last step of the podium for this one. Lap 8 then, and Lawson under a bit of pressure from Sainz as we've got a yellow flag. Just a lock up. But Sainz now, it's Charles Leclerc has had a
Let's
lock
take a
up.
look at
He
the
would have dropped off this battle
This
then.
is turn 6.
As you can see, the battle here.
The brakes couldn't cope. But
And there you
that's
go,
just the
that's
risk you
dropped him
take.
quite
The
far back
later you
then.
leave it.
Let's have a look where we're at with that. Yeah, Leclerc now 5 seconds off this battle and in the clutches of Tsunoda and Hamilton. What's that done to his tyres? Not too damaging. In terms of tyres, Sainz has got 1% better than Lawson, so we had to push Lawson quite hard to try and keep with these Mercedes and Piastris, and that is now costing us with Sainz all over us. So Lawson, I think, is kind of in a battle for 5th with Sainz now. I can't see him catching up to Piastri. And this is going to be very hard to defend. So, oh, and there we go. Sainz up the inside. And he'll get DRS to pull away. So Carlos really on the move for Red Bull. And we'll see if Lawson stays with him. But he's getting a good little slipstream back there.
Focus on
Carlos
the race
Sainz
ahead.
into P5. Lawson down to P6. But really for this Constructors
So far
damage
behind you now,
limitation,
Leclerc.
we need Lawson to really get P5.
4.7.
What would it be at the moment? It would be 25 and 18, wouldn't it, for Mercedes? So, yeah, they'd be getting 43 points, and we would be getting 15 and 8, 23. So it'd be a 20-point loss. So that'd be quite significant, to be fair, going into the final race. They might even, I think they would claim the constructors here today with this result. I'm pretty sure with the sprint race points, because the most we can obviously get is a 26 with the fastest lap in Abu Dhabi, and 18, so we can get 44. I think they had a lead of 22, and they extended that in the sprint by 9, I believe, 31. So, yeah, it's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. I think they'd need about 13 points on us, and they would certainly get that here today. So the constructors may well be over here in Qatar at this rate. And Piastri is back past Ricciardo. We're concentrating on Lawson, trying him back to the DRS of Sainz, and Oscar Piastri is caught up with Danny Rick and is past Danny Rick. So Danny Rick now down to 4th. As we've been saying, not really got the pace round here.
Lovely stuff.
And looks like our constructors fight might be coming to the end here in Qatar. Lawson is back into the DRS of Sainz. See if Ricciardo can stay with Piastri. Piastri on the medium, so those mediums might be coming into their own now. And Carlos Sainz pits then. So lap 14 for Carlos Sainz. Lawson, we're trying to get to at least lap 16. We probably will extend that a little bit. I think we'll go for an attack phase though. Now Sainz is in. And Leclerc is in as well, because I think really we're battling the cars behind with Lawson rather than in front. So we'll try and attack now until we use that tyre life. And then we'll get Liam Lawson in.
Less of a lift.
Piastri in the fight with Ricciardo has absolutely bolted. He's 4 seconds up the road. Ricciardo 10 seconds off the lead. So I think it's looking like 4th place for Ricciardo. And unfortunately, unless, as I keep saying, Mercedes have an issue, they're going to claim this Constructors title here today. Hamilton now in the pits as well. So Lawson may well be jumped by Hamilton, Sainz, and Leclerc, but we'll wait and see on that. Yeah, so Lawson about to pit, so we went for a bit of a push there. Worth noting, Russell did pit, but he came out in lovely clean air, so I think he's going to be in a really good position. As I say, I think we're on for 4th and 5th in this race with Ricciardo and Lawson. But here comes Lawson then. Hopefully a clean stop. We're looking out for Sainz really. I expect Sainz and Leclerc and Hamilton probably to be past us, but we should be in better shape than them. Sainz already used 12%. 2.5. Not too bad. I think our average now is down to 2.3. So there goes Sainz. And now here comes the 2 Ferraris. Oh, we're going to be out in front of the 2 Ferraris. That is very nice indeed. We will take that. So Norris yet to stop. Again, Norris struggling compared to his teammate Piastri, isn't he, Norris?
Gap behind 2.1.
Well, I think he did take a penalty this race, but over the last few races he has struggled. So Lawson, that's very nice to be out in front of the Ferraris. Nice clean air, 5 seconds to Sainz. But as we say, Sainz has now used 13% more tyre life than Lawson. I think Lawson can come back to him later on in the race. Just try and get these tyres up to temp.
Copy.
Try and push out of the DRS of Norris.
Copy.
If we can across this lap. Which might be difficult to do. Don't really want to get in a battle with these Ferraris.
Require any fuel lift off.
Copy.
As Bottas is in, and it's going to be...
Okay.
Oh, safety car. Safety car. This is big. This is big for Danny Rick. Got a safety car here.
Box.
Box confirmed.
It's Max Verstappen. Oh, he's hit from behind. Not the greatest of angles. Max has been hit from behind. From Teo Porcher by the looks of it.
Safety car deploy. Ricciardo.
And there we see it. We don't see the impact, but it's Teo Porcher going straight into Max Verstappen. Both out of the race. Lawson, unfortunately, just stopped. But Ricciardo can take advantage. So will Piastri. But let's see. I think Bottas and Russell will still be past Ricciardo. But Piastri may well be in the lead of this race.
Yeah, copy.
There's Piastri. I think the Mercedes might still be in the lead here, but good tyre advantage now for Piastri and Ricciardo.
It's a fairly heavy accident. So just watch out for any debris
Yeah,
here.
the two Mercedes are back into the lead. Sainz stop again there. Sainz has stopped again there. That's interesting. So Ricciardo is out into P4.
Currently P4.
But now,
Next car is
Bottas
Piastri.
not too bad, to be fair. 97% softs. But it might hamper George a little bit. That came another 2 laps later. That would have been lovely for us. But Lawson's going to be in P5. Hamilton behind with that issue. But 87%. He's got 7% on Hamilton, 10% on Charles. And Sainz stopped again to go on hard till the end, perhaps, there. Here we go then. Safety car is ending.
Come on, mate.
On click overtake, please.
Understood.
And maybe we've got a chance to do something here.
Use your tools.
What we really want is Oscar Piastri to win this race. Because obviously the biggest gap is first to second with 25 to 18.7 points. As Bottas gets us underway. We're kind of rooting for, if we can't win it, we're kind of rooting for a Piastri win and for us to get ahead of one of Mercedes. 21 laps gone then.
Understood.
I reckon these are going to push quite hard off this restart. Got another yellow flag. Looks like it's Yuki Tsunoda,
Copy.
who's out wide and he's down to last place. He's locked up as
Now
Yuki.
this was on the straight.
He's running in the points as well with Yuki in the top 10. That's a big error.
The wheels just lock up there. They took a gamble.
So Yuki now down to 19th. Stroll in the points for Kicks Alba.
Understood.
Just manage the pace.
Copy. Copy.
Kind of need to stay with this group of cars until we get DRS, really. They are pushing quite hard.
Just get DRS.
Ricciardo just about got DRS.
Copy that.
He's about to fall out of that 1 second, but Lawson is under pressure here from Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis Hamilton round the outside is past Liam Lawson, but we've got good tyre delta there on him. So I think we can come back at Lewis. But yeah, Ricciardo, we're just finding again. We just haven't got the pace on these guys ahead of us. And Lawson has got DRS on Hamilton.
On DRS.
Looks to be far back, but the DRS in this Team Lotus is very strong. Hamilton trying to cover off on the inside. Lawson checks to the outside. And it's a repeat, but the other way round from last lap. Lawson round the outside of Lewis Hamilton and back into P5. And we'll push him hopefully down the road. Hamilton's engine issue getting worse as well. And Ricciardo 1.2 away from Piastri. So
currently
again, just
P5.
struggling for pace against these guys. Got better tyre margin than all of them though, so maybe that'll play its part later in the race if they start to conserve. Okay, lap 34 then, Bottas leads by 3.3, so he's got a nice little cushion there. And then Piastri is just 1.4 off Russell. Still used quite a bit more tyre life than Piastri and Ricciardo. Bottas on the softs, of course, will have to pit in the next lap or so. Might even be this lap. Let's have a look if he's going to come in. No, he's already past the pit lane. So maybe next lap for Bottas. It's 24 seconds for a stop, so he'd be out around Sainz at the moment. He's probably looking to clear Sainz, and he's going to have a nice clean gap then to Lando Norris, which should work out well for him. Russell Yeah, it's not going to be too far behind his teammate. But yeah, we are 5 seconds back though on Piastri. Nearly 10 seconds off the lead. So again, I don't think we're going to be able to challenge even with that tyre advantage. Hoping Piastri can do something here though. Lawson into still in P5, but it's actually Lando Norris chasing him down on the hard tyres. That McLaren has got good pace, as we know, Piastri. Lando took a penalty. Now he's up the grid. He's really pushing well. He's only 1.7 off Lawson, so it might be hard even to keep Lando behind Lawson. So we'll see how that battle goes. Lawson is due to stop in about 2 more laps time, so we'll get him in, but it looks like he's going to have a fight with Norris. Sainz too far back now, 10 seconds, and he's going to have to pit again on those hards, so he's not going to the end. Hamilton, that engine issue's really cost him in. He's gone backwards. Comes out in 15th, but he might struggle for the points, how bad that issue is looking at the moment. So really, we're just working now up to lap 37 to get Lawson in, and lap 42 for Ricciardo, but I don't think Ricciardo's going to go too much further as Bottas does now pit. It's whether we can get a bit of luck here. A slow stop from Mercedes. He gets bogged down behind Carlos Sainz, but I think he's going to clear Carlos here. So here comes Bottas from Mercedes. Russell takes the lead. Piastri just 0.8 off him. Not going to do anything. That was a clean stop by Mercedes. Yeah, I think he's comfortably going to be ahead of Sainz here, isn't he? He's getting up to speed. Well, I don't know. It might be... No, he will be. He'll be comfortably ahead. So, yeah, he's going to have a nice clean gap. But Piastri is battling Russell now, so that's good. Get a McLaren ahead of at least one of those Mercedes. So, Bottas and Piastri now running issues. How significant are they going to be? Can it bring Ricciardo back in contention here?
Let's get ready.
Understood.
So, Lawson, this is key now because I think he's in a real battle with Norris. We'll get a good undercut here on Norris, but Norris surely will go on some nice softs if he's got him at the end here. 2.5 seems to be what we're doing today, so Lawson out there, we should be clear of Carlos Sainz. Yeah, going to be comfortable there, so nice clean gap. Lawson going to the end now then on those mediums, and we'll get them up to 10 and we'll push him on. Ricciardo, we're looking to get to at least lap 42 here. Piastri in. So Piastri has stopped. He's now coming out. Russell, I think, is going to be clear of him. He is. But Piastri not too far back. It's just how significant that issue is. How much that's going to hamper him. But Ricciardo going long has not worked. As you can see, Bottas is the car behind us here. So Bottas is going to be a pit stop ahead of Danny Rick. So... yeah, whatever issues Bottas has got, not really causing him any issues. And, yeah, doesn't make pretty reading, really, does it there, with Bottas all over the back of Danny Rick with a pit stop spare. And he's going to get past Ricciardo, and it's looking ever more likely that Mercedes are going to claim the Constructors' title here today.
Okay, Bottas is in your DRS now.
Ricciardo will try to frustrate him, but we're going to be in at the end of this lap, but we're going to be 24 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas.
Box.
And there he goes. Norris pits now, so this is interesting with the battle with Lawson.
Yep, box confirmed.
I think Piastri's issue is really hampering here. And here's Lawson. So he's past Lando Norris now. We want quite a nice gap, to be fair, because I think Lando's going to be quite racy in this final stint. He's 6 seconds back. That should be comfortable enough, although Norris on the softs can attack probably on those as well. Here comes Danny Rick then. Unless we get a late safety car here or some drama from the Mercedes, it might be the end of the Constructors' battle, but let's hopefully get Ricciardo a nice clean stop here. 15 laps to go. And George Russell is going to be past us there. 2.2, best stop of the day for us. Piastri is on the softs as well. Last lap. No, he's not doing too bad, to be fair, with that issue. And here's Liam Lawson on his teammate.
Okay, Daniel, that's P4. On next car will be Piastri.
Lawson and Ricciardo together here. We'll ask him not to fight because Ricciardo will have some pace to get those up to temperature. But yeah, it's looking like 4th and 5th here for us. And we're going to go for a fastest lap attempt here with Danny Rick. My only issue here is Perez is a little bit up the road. I'm hoping he's too far up the road. I'm hoping we can get a fastest lap in just for an extra point here with Danny Rick.
Okay.
I think Perez should be further enough up the road. There he is. Oh, I don't know. I think we're going to catch Perez. This is not going to be good for the fastest lap attempt. We do go purple through there. We catch Perez at a nice place in the racetrack. Won't be an issue. Kind of here we want to catch him. But Bottas has currently got the fastest lap, so we're trying to steal that back off him. And right into the slipstream of Perez. Purple again, though. Come on, we really need Perez out of the way and not to hold us up here. He is holding us up, though. Get out of the way, Perez. I think I held us up a little bit. Is it going to be enough for the fastest lap for Danny Rick?
Okay, maximum focus on cooling down.
We're about to find out. Danny Rick across the line. Yes, takes the fastest lap.
Very good lap.
We take that indeed. Norris is 3.2 behind Lawson, so Lawson should hopefully have enough in the bag. And Bottas had started the final lap then. He's going to win this by nearly 9 seconds. And it's going to be Russell P2. Mercedes dominant here across this whole weekend. It's going to be a double 1-2 for them. Danny Rick within 2.6 of Piastri, but we're not going to get close enough. Norris 2.9 behind Lawson. So it looks like it's going to be P4, P5 for us here. Going to struggle. We've not had the pace. I think both McLarens, Norris obviously took that penalty, but both McLarens have been quicker than us. Very much the third fastest car around here. But Mercedes' pace has been dominant. We do take the fastest lap off Bottas, but I think if my calculations are correct, it's not going to be enough. And Mercedes are going to claim the Constructors' title with this result in Qatar, which is a shame. We would have loved to have taken it to the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. It was always going to be a long shot this year. Mercedes had a few issues across the last few races, and that's allowed us to close the gap. But they have nailed this weekend, and that is going to claim them the Constructors' title. And Bottas, another win for him, the World Drivers' Champion of 2025. He's already won the Drivers' Championship. He's going to win it again here today. Not the championship, he's going to win another race here today in Qatar. And Bottas wins it. And he's going to lead home a Merc 1-2 as George Russell 9 seconds down the road. So pretty dominant from Bottas, to be fair.
A brilliant win there.
And I think that will be the Constructors' title for Mercedes. Piastri had an issue, but he holds on to P3. And Ricciardo with the fastest lap of the race.
Okay, we take
claims P4. And his teammate Liam Lawson always looked like it was going to be P5 for Lawson today. And that is where we finish. So Liam Lawson, P5, Danny Rick, P4. And I believe that's the Constructors' title in Mercedes, but we will soon find out. There you go then, it is true, it's official. Mercedes have won the Constructors. Our dream of taking it to the final race has gone. Mercedes too dominant for us this weekend. And we're not even on the podium this weekend. Mercedes and McLaren certainly had the pace on us. And Bottas wins again. And Mercedes claim the Constructors' title. So here we go then, full race result, no change from the qualifying positions in that top three. Bottas wins it, George Russell second, Oscar Piastri third, Daniel Ricciardo up 3 in the end, so a good race from Danny Rick up to 4th. Liam Lawson finishes 5th, Lando Norris 6th, Carlos Sainz 7th, Leclerc 8th, Hamilton 9th, and Guan Yu Zhou claims a sneaky little point for Haas in 10th, and it was Danny Rick that took the fastest lap. The Drivers' Championship No changes here in the top 10, as we already knew. Bottas has won the championship, so he won't be moving from first place. Oscar Piastri gains on Daniel Ricciardo, though, but it is 60 points. So Daniel Ricciardo does finish P2 in the 2025 Drivers' Championship. Oscar Piastri pretty much guaranteed P3, unless he has a retirement in Abu Dhabi. And Liam Lawson looking pretty nailed on for P4, with Russell 24 points back on him. Max Verstappen is 6th. Only 8 points on Hamilton, so Hamilton has a chance to finish 6th. Looks like Norris will finish 8th. Leclerc's going to finish 9th and Sainz 10th. Rest of the point scorers then, Alonso in 11th, Yuki Tsunoda 12th. Guan Yu Zhou takes another point for his 13th placement, up to 9 points. Ocon has 8, Gasly 5, Perez 3, Magnussen 1, and the rest of the drivers yet to score. Constructors then, so of course we can only take a maximum of 44 points when we get to Abu Dhabi with that fastest lap, and the gap is now 51 points. So Mercedes very much dominant over this weekend. 29 points is the difference they gained over us. So unfortunately we couldn't put up a fight to get it to the last race of the season. So Mercedes are the Constructors Champion. Team Lotus second. We are guaranteed to finish second, of course. McLaren guaranteed to finish third. Ferrari extended their gap on Red Bull by 2 points, so it is just 9 points though. So that's going to be the battle for Abu Dhabi, isn't it? It's going to be Ferrari against Red Bull, so it's 9 points the gap. Aston Martin claims 6th this year, and then we do have another battle for 7th. Haas get closer to Williams and RB by 2 points, so Haas would essentially, although I think Guan Yu Zhou's got the highest finish, I think it goes by highest finish if I'm right. I think if Haas got 2 points and Williams and RB didn't score, I think Haas would claim 7th. But there is a battle for 7th. You'd have to think Kixau are a little bit too far behind, because these are only grabbing 1 or 2 points. But yeah, Abu Dhabi, we've got a battle for 4th between Ferrari and Red Bull, and the battle for 7th between Williams, RB, and Haas. Any fast pit stops? We did get another 6 points. Those 2.2 pit stops that we're getting are coming in handy, and that gave us 6 points. So we are 8th. Looks like we should claim 8th in the fastest pit stop this year. So definitely, as I said before, improvement there. We're getting quite a few 2.2s, so hopefully next year we can get closer to 2.1 or a sub 2 second pit stop. But that is going to bring this one to an end. And yeah, a little bit disappointing, but to be expected. I think when we looked at the car analysis coming into this one, and actually, you know, we haven't designed this car since round 6, I believe. So yeah, I can't believe this fight for the Constructors has gone on this long, to be fair. We thought we'd be out of that Drivers' Championship and Constructors a long time ago. So to keep it this far, the battle going this far, has been pretty tremendous, to be fair, from us. And I think Mercedes, they slipped up in the last couple of races, which allowed us to close that gap. But really, they were back on form, back on their true reflection of their performance in the car this time round. And yeah, we are the 3rd quickest car. McLaren have outdeveloped us, so has Mercedes, because we're focused on next year. Just unfortunate, because I would like to see us in a battle for Abu Dhabi. Would have made that a little bit exciting if anything cropped up there. But it is a Mercedes Constructors Championship. We do finish P2, and we weren't expecting that coming into this year. You know, we were thinking I think I set P5, maybe the target, P4, P5. We were taking that and maybe a few podiums. But with 1 races, we were in a Drivers' Championship for a little while, certainly in a Constructors' Championship until the final 2 races. So it's all looking good for 2026. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you can like the video, please do smash that like button. Trying to get at least 15 likes. So if you haven't already, please do click thumbs up and like the video, and get involved down below in the comments. As I said, a good effort here in 2025, but it's not over. We've still got 1 more race to go, and we'll try our best to try and win that last race if we can. And there's a battle on for P4 in the Constructors and P7, so we'll keep an eye out on that. So yeah, do return. We'll be back very soon with the final episode in this 2025 season, and then we'll be heading into the 2026 season, where we're hoping our research will pay dividends, and we'll be challenging for both the Drivers and Constructors World Championships.